Good morning, girls. Can you hear me?
Good morning, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so we started with the fifth unit. We discussed. We have to start with this one, no? Does anybody remember? Okay, so we'll quickly go through the Industrial Policy Declaration of 1977 and then we'll continue with the 1980 declaration. Okay, so in 1977, there were changes made to the list of small sector industries or cottage industries, and the list was increased from 180 to 500 items. The points that were highlighted were large private houses or large private companies were restricted from creating a monopoly, and the economic power was decentralized. A lot of other companies were also given benefits or chances to secure a better position in the industry. Then public sector. So public sector then realized that they should focus more on the activities in their uh, undertaking, and it was essential for them to enter into the consumer goods market because that will give them the financial benefit that they required. Then foreign investment to an extent was limited because a lot of foreign companies were investing in our country and were taking away all the earnings of the country, and hence our economy was not able to grow or develop. So this declaration restricted the foreign investments in our or discouraged foreign investment in our country. Then reduction in regional disparities. So more focus was given to backward areas or rural areas, and people were encouraged to set up industries in rural areas. They were offered schemes and benefits like subsidies and land on lower rates in order to focus on balanced regional growth. Then Sikh industries, a lot of Sikh industries were also helped, and counseling and help assistance was provided to them in order to help them overcome their sinking funds. And lastly, other provisions. What were the other provisions? In this policy, participation of workers in industry. So basically anything that required emphasis was included here, like participation of workers in industries. Earlier the board of directors on the top level had this impression that the workers or the operational level or the lower level and middle level should not be included in the discussion or the planning phase, okay, because they do not have or possess the actual knowledge about what should be and what should be done in order to increase the progress or enhance the working standards of the organization or for future strategies. But once the participation was mandated, it was seen that the workers were the actual people who are doing the job, okay, they are the people who are working for us. Hence, it is important that we take their opinion while creating the strategies, because I can create the plan, but unless and until I am aware about the actual technicalities and the practicalities of the work being done, I will not be able to create the effective plans. Then price policies of industrial products, their import export, etc. So import export policies were emphasized on, export was motivated, okay, a lot of duties were cut down, and better facilities were offered for export purposes, and import was discouraged, okay. Next we move on to Industrial Policy Declaration of 1980. The purpose of this declaration was not to announce any new industrial policy, but to improve and present the policy announced in 1956. So this declaration focused on improving the policy of 1956. This policy was announced on July 23rd, 1980, after the Congress government came to power after Janata Dal ruled. The salient features of this policy are: firstly, special importance to the public sector. In the 1980 policy, special importance was given to the public sector. The region was considered the base pillar of the economic industrial structure. It was hoped from the region that it would create surplus and create employment opportunities. So the government started focusing on enhancing and growing the public sector industries, because these industries were the sole way of creating or enhancing the employment opportunities in the economy. Efforts were also made to increase the efficiency of the region and improve the management system. So whatever local resources or ways of creating business were present. Okay, I have reconnected the audio, maybe there was some problem. So efforts were made to increase the efficiency of the region and improve the management system. Then mixed economy. So you may have studied in economics that there are three patterns of economy or three economic systems that can be followed. First is the capitalist economy or the market economy. The second one is the socialist economy. So these two types are where capitalist economy means everything is owned by the private sector. The socialist economy means that everything, all the businesses and everything is owned by the government. But mixed economy is the third system, where there is a combination of government and private sector. Some companies are owned privately, some companies are owned by the government, and there is a balance that is created. So we in our country follow mixed economy. Similar to the industrial policy of 1956, the declaration announced the adoption of mixed economy. Okay, so here we announced that will be following mixed economy pattern or system. The development of the public sector as well as the private sector was given importance, although along with this, arrangements were made to stop centralization in the hands of some people of monopolistic tendencies and economic power and property. So, centralization of power, as we spoke about, is discouraged. Okay, because if in an industry one or few producers get all the power, centralization means the power is focused in one or two points, and decentralization means spreading it evenly. So earlier the power became centralized in some of the firms. In each industry there were some players or some producers who were very powerful and could enhance the entire industry, so that they created sort of monopolies in these industries. So the government took actions where they tried to restrict these kind of monopolies and made them work in a more collaborative manner. Nextly, coordination between big and small industries. In the 1977 declaration, a clear dividing line was drawn between the big and small industries, which has now been terminated as unnecessary. Both these types of industries were considered to be inextricable, linked, and considered to be complementary to each other. So earlier the government declared a guideline, or depending on the budget and the number of employees, what they did was they created a line and a category on the basis of which we can divide whether this specific industry is a small industry or a large industry. So maybe like now we have various segregations like micro, small, medium, and large enterprises. But earlier they had a big industry and a small industry division. So that was abolished in 1980 declaration. Then economic federalism. Under this policy, the idea of integrated industrial development was given shape. Emphasis was laid on the establishment of some special industries in industrially backward districts. Such industries will encourage ancillary and small cottage industries in their periphery. This will strengthen industrialization in the country. So voice is breaking again. I don't know what is happening. Is it better now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next we come to economic federalism. So in this point, the basic focus was on spreading awareness and about industrialization in the backward areas. Any businesses that were set up in or by backward districts was helped and encouraged. Okay, any kind of small industries, cottage industries, ancillary means subsidiary. Okay, subsidiary industries were also encouraged. Like there are industries which produce products that are not consumer goods, that they cannot be purchased by normal consumers, but they are they have a good market of producer goods. Okay, like the best example can be tires. Okay, tires usually are not purchased by customers. The bulk purchase of tires is done by other automobile companies. Okay, next, assistance to small units. Special attention was paid to small units for industrial development, and it was announced to provide various types of assistance to these units. Arrangements were made for these industries related to finance, raw material, marketing, etc. Special attention was paid to handloom, handicraft, khadi, and other village industries. Okay, so industries like these, handicraft, handloom, khadi, etc. These kind of industries were given assistances like help in finance, then raw material, marketing, etc. Okay. Next, industrial relations emphasized to build the declaration of 1980 emphasized to build a good relationship between workers and entrepreneurs. For this, trilateral labor conferences were arranged so that a sense of harmony and constructive cooperation could be created. In short, it can be said that the industrial policy of 1980 reincorporated the core elements of 1956. Although, with this, emphasis was also placed on balance and rapid industrialization in the country. Cottage industries usually, the main goal of this policy has been to develop industrial estates in an integrated manner with the small scale industry. So industrial relations means not only relations between the firms and various industries with each other, but relations of government with industries, relations of workers with their owners or producers, relations of suppliers with industries, relations of customers with these industries. All these relations were focused, and the government focused on creating a harmonious relationship between all these elements or all these entities, because if all the entities or all the parties that are involved in the production process function smoothly, only then can we have a good industrial background in our country. Then we come to the present industrial policy. Okay, so the present industrial policy or the policy of 1991. A new industrial policy was announced on July 24, 1991, with the aim of freeing Indian industries from control and shifting away from the protectionist system of the market oriented, competitive, and global environment. This policy is inspired by the resolve to protect the industrial structure from the web of necessary controls. So this policy is, we have to study in detail. So we will continue it tomorrow. Okay, we'll stop here today. Please go through the Declaration of 1980 and we'll continue with the 1991 tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.